This is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour.
Supported by Albertsons.
And brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Tastes like Miller time. Tom Thumb and Albertsons, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Luke Casey, the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. Alltech Lansing. Just listen with Alltech Lansing, perfecting sound since 1927. And by Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys.
Now, your hosts,
Nicole Hutchison and Brad Sham.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
It's okay, they can't hear us. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. They're going to hear us in a little bit.
Are they awake? Good evening, everybody.
There we go.
Oh, that's what it was. You were right.
Hey,
Ivan,
that's what I'm here for.
did you forget to plug that in? Ivan is the absolute best, proving that even the absolute best are human and sometimes bobble the ball. So we're happy to have all of you here. Thank you for joining us at our regular Monday night spot. And this is the third to the last show.
It is.
A little sad. But you know what makes me less sad?
What?
Tyler Booker right over there. Our special
nice.
guest tonight.
That was nice.
Did you like that?
Yeah, that was
that
nice.
smooth?
I like that. That was smooth.
Cowboys' #1 draft choice, who is just not a rookie anymore. And he's every minute he's been on the field, he showed why they loved him so much. So thank you for coming out and spending some time with us tonight.
Thank y'all for having me. I'm very excited.
Really?
Very excited.
Wait, are you lying?
No.
Okay, good. All right, well then good. Then you might need a little more excitement in your life, but that's all right. We're happy to have you. So as always, we appreciate those of you who have come in to enjoy the spirit of the Christmas season at Sidecar Social, and I hope that you take some time to enjoy the way the Star is decorated for the holidays. Just fabulous. If it doesn't get you ready, then I don't know what will. Great place to be. To get in out of the cold, and we're always happy to welcome our guests and listeners on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network, and to those of you who are watching us streaming whenever and wherever you're doing that on DallasCowboys.com. How y'all is? Nice to see you, as they say in Louisiana. Nice to see you. Here's our policy book. When we have a game that the Victory Monday Club can't celebrate, then we acknowledge that the game was played. We talk about it very briefly, and then we move right along.
Sounds good to
me. Right on down the road, which is what you guys have to do, right?
Exactly.
There was a lot about the way some of the things, especially that you and Cooper Beebe said after the game in Detroit about not being sharp, not quite finishing, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I thought you corrected that for the most part last night. There were obviously some issues on both sides of the ball, but there was a lot of good stuff that you guys did. Were you happy with the way your group played?
I wouldn't say happy. I feel like we played better than we did last week, but I still feel like we were not at our standard. You know, I feel like Dak was on the ground too much. There were a lot of yards that we left on the table. But that's what this coming week is for. That's what the Chargers are for, to right the wrongs that we made last night.
And it doesn't make it easier when you have to face a defense like a Brian Flores defense with the disguises and things like that. What kind of mental toll does it take having to recognize all those different looks for you guys?
No, it's a lot. It's a lot. That's why communication is very important. We have to make sure that we communicate. We have to make sure that we're all on the same page. We really just have to continue to take advantage of all the walkthrough time that we have, take advantage of all the meeting time that we have as well. And I feel like we were on the same page for the most part, but they still brought some looks that were unscouted. But it's like that every week in the NFL. Your opponent's always going to find something to do that they haven't put on film before.
They do more than a lot of teams, don't they, Minnesota? What they do with their fronts and their blitz looks and their who's coming and who's not. And
they do. So they put 5 bigs out there to create some conflict, and they also bring their linebackers a lot. And something that they're also not afraid to do is get into cover zero a lot. So that's something that we should have handled a lot better as a team.
Is there anything in the SEC that looks like that prepares you, or anybody that you play intersectionally in college football that does that much?
LSU last year, they had a couple exotic blitzes, nothing too crazy. I remember Vanderbilt my freshman year had some.
Vandy?
Yeah, my
Well,
freshman
it's
year.
Vanderbilt. I mean, it's a smart school.
Yeah, I was about to say
It
they
is.
got all those smart
Thank you.
linebackers. Georgia has had their fair share, so it's just everybody in SC has their fair share of the exotic blitzes. But when you're getting it the entire game, I feel like that's what's different for me.
Who would you compare that type of defense to compared to who you guys have played already this season?
I would compare it to probably to the
Denver?
Bears.
Oh, really?
The Bears, as far as their scheme, like they had a really, really good scheme. They knew who they were, they knew where their strengths were, and they played to them.
That's fair.
So with whom, now you're 14 games in, so that's why I said you're not really a rookie anymore. With whom do you feel a greater rivalry, Georgia or the Philadelphia Eagles?
The Eagles.
Oh, that didn't even take long.
Yeah,
You didn't have to think about that.
Yeah.
How quickly did they replace Georgia in the rivalry department for you?
As we're pulling up to Lincoln Financial, seeing the 5-year-olds give us the middle finger
Yeah,
on the bus. So
yeah.
I feel like that's what topped it.
That was a little extreme. That was your first game.
First game ever, yes.
Yeah, that was a little extreme.
Very.
You didn't get a lot of that in the SEC?
I don't know. I got a lot of extreme. Don't get me wrong, but that was to another level.
Wait till both teams are good and we go up there late in the year and people egg the bus.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Well, it'll happen. Don't worry.
Wait, hold on, because I wasn't traveling, so I didn't know that happened. 5-year-olds were putting the middle finger up.
Oh
to
yeah.
them?
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, you'll see grandmothers in Philadelphia, little old white-haired ladies with double birds, and
yeah.
because that's their deal, go birds, and so they take it very seriously. And sometimes they have their grandkids right there with them.
Oh yeah.
Well, I did see the viral video with the elementary school, so that
yes.
explains a lot.
Yeah, that was rude. I
Yeah,
thought that
I
was
didn't like
rude.
that.
No. Well, they lost that game.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about what's been the favorite part, of this season for you. Obviously, some ups and some downs. What's been the favorite part for you?
Really just my continual growth, learning from one week to the next and really just seeing myself get better week by week. And that was my main goal this rookie season. Like, I didn't want to put a specific thing like, oh, I want to be a Pro Bowl, I want to be all pro. I was like, I really just want to see myself get better day by day, game by game, week by week. And I feel like I've done that to this point. And I want to continue to do that with the rest of the games that we have left.
Talk about your growth. I remember you telling me your technique was one of the things that you wanted to improve in. Where do you feel like that is right now?
I feel like I've grown a lot within my pass protection, just really trusting my hands, trusting my footwork, and then just trusting myself overall. Like, just knowing that I was picked 12 for a reason. Like, I'm here for a reason, and I just have to go out and play to that standard, play to my standard, and just my confidence growing. I feel like that's what's allowed me to play much faster, and which is why I've been playing so much better in the past couple weeks.
What went into improving right hand placement for you?
Just reps, and in the offensive line, it's a thing to where you're like every inch matters, every step matters. So like the more you do those steps, the more comfortable you get, the more confident you become with them. So I feel like it was only going to take me some time to gain that confidence.
I think everybody who got a chance to meet you and talk to you in OTAs recognized right away that you're serious about the game and had to have an appreciation for your passion for it. And then it seemed to me that when we visited in training camp, that had stepped up a little bit. You'd been now through a spring. And when the season started in Philadelphia, did you feel ready? And if you could talk to week one Tyler today, what do you think he would say to you, and what would you say back to him?
I felt ready. I felt ready for Philadelphia. I definitely felt ready. And that's just due to the preparation that I put in and all the time and effort that my coaches and teammates put in me as well. So I definitely felt ready going out there for Philadelphia, but I feel like I'm a much better player now than I was then. So I would tell week one Tyler, be like, hey, man, keep going, trust the process, and then really just believe in yourself. Remember, you're that guy, you're that dude. Just remember that and go show that play after play, down after down.
How are you better?
I feel like, to be honest with you, it's just confidence. Like, it's all starting to click for me. I feel like when I was out for those couple games, I was able to go back, watch that film, and see where I was falling short on some reps and understand, like, man, this is the stuff that I did in college really well at a high level. I just have to get back to that. And then I just went back to watching some of my college tape and be like, look, you can do this at a high level. You have to just put it together and believe that you can do it now in the NFL. So after that, after those 3 games I was out, when I came back, my confidence was there. It allows me to play a lot faster, and the game starts to slow down for me.
When you were at Alabama, you were in the national championship conversation every year.
Yes.
That's just part of the nature of being in Alabama. How do you then process knowing you've got 3 games to play? You better play intensely or someone's going to get hurt, but you're not playing for anything other than pride right now. How do you process that?
It's definitely tough. You know, the goal is the goal every year is to go out and win the Super Bowl. But in the NFL, like that's very hard to do because that's everybody's goal, you know. But with these games that we have left, I'm just going out and making sure I put the best version of myself out there, and also just take advantage of the opportunity that I have to grow and improve. You know, because like I said, like I feel like I'm getting better with every game. So these next 3 games are just more opportunities for me to get better, and that's how I'm looking at it.
Brad, I heard that through the streets that Tyler Booker is one of the most vocal leaders within that entire group. Is that true? You lead the huddle in the offense and defense?
I wouldn't say I'm one of the most vocal leaders, but
Interesting.
I do speak up when I feel like I should and when it's needed. I feel like I'm most vocal before the games. That's just how I get ready myself. Like I'm a big self-talker, so I talk to myself, and me being loud and talking to myself, like some of my teammates may feed off of that, and then sometimes I'll speak in the huddle between the offensive and defensive line before the game, and that's just something I'm very comfortable doing, like being the tone setter for the team, because that's what I was at Alabama, and now I know I'm in a different realm, I'm in a different environment, so just having to learn my teammates, learn as a group, and make sure that everything I do is really natural and nothing's fabricated.
So then what's been the message from you to your teammates to make sure that, yeah, we are still playing for pride, but we still got to go out there and try to dominate?
You just said that we're playing for pride, you know, like who are you at the end of the day? Like don't let the circumstance determine who you are. Like don't let the score determine who you are. Like be the same player regardless of what's going on.
And even though I'm going to run us over just a little bit, some people believe from one year to the next, momentum can be almost a tangible thing, even though every team in the NFL turns over 25% almost every single year. But do you believe in momentum carrying over? If you finish really strong as a team, do you believe that can carry over into next year?
I definitely do. I definitely feel like momentum will carry over, and that's why these next 3 games are so important, regardless of what happens. We just have to know that, like, put a great product out there and see, like, look, guys, here's how we played at our best. Here's why we were at our best. So the sooner we figure that out, the more proof we have to bring that over into next year.
We are here for everybody to get to know more about Tyler Booker, and I think you've already figured out the Cowboys are really lucky to have him as a person, not just as a player. We are at Sidecar Social on the Cowboys Hour, the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour in the Star District, and we are brought to, one of these days I'm going to cross you up and throw that in somewhere where you don't expect it. But that won't be tonight because that would not be in the Christmas spirit.
Absolutely
And
right.
you've got green lines and colors on your page. So by whom
It's all right.
are we brought to? People?
Albertsons. When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Tom Thumb and Albertsons. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Tom Thumb and Albertsons, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys.
Easy for you to say. Tyler Booker is our guest tonight. We'll be right back on the Cowboys Hour.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Welcome back. We're at Sidecar Social in the Star District. Brad Sham, Nicole Hutchison, and our very special guest, Cowboys right guard, number 1 draft choice, Tyler Booker. And we are delighted to be here. And we, just so you know, we will be here next Monday night, even though the game next week will be on Christmas Day. So it's a short week. It'll be Thursday for the players, but I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Trent Sigg, the Cowboys' long snapper, is going to be here next week because he's kind of a badass a little bit.
Very much so.
Yeah. Can I say that? I guess I
hope
guess.
so.
I just did.
You already did.
I just did. I've been doing this 47 years. What
Right.
are they going to do to me?
Nothing.
Trent Sigg will be here next week, and we'll all be celebrating Christmas together. Speaking of which, Mr. Booker, do you do your own Christmas shopping? Are you in the Christmas spirit?
I am. I do a lot of my own Christmas shopping, and I do a great job of doing it in advance.
Talk to me.
Because
See, this is offensive linemen are the most interesting and the most intelligent players, and they have to be organized. You
Yes.
can't be disheveled and scatterbrained and play in the offensive line. Am I right?
very right.
Okay.
Very right.
So let's talk about gift planning.
So I have to plan in advance because my beautiful girlfriend, her birthday is December 3rd,
Okay.
and our anniversary is November 15th. So I got anniversary, birthday, and Christmas back to back to back. So that's for her alone. Then I have a younger brother, 2 parents, I have an older sister, and her birthday is December 28th.
Your sister.
Yes. So it's a jam-packed month of presents. So I have to plan in advance, but I'm 90% done.
Sweet. Now, I'm guessing mostly online.
Yes, definitely mostly online, all online. So far.
All online.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you go out, have you done that much? I mean, do you get recognized? Offensive linemen don't always, but everybody walking down the hallway in the mall doesn't look like you. So
Exactly. So whenever I do go out, I usually do get recognized, and if it's not, if they don't realize it's me, they're like, "Oh, you definitely play for the Cowboys." Because like, what do you do? You're huge. You must play for the Cowboys. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite interaction with a fan so far that you've ran into?
Favorite interaction with the fan. Okay, so I like getting manicures. I get manicures. I like to take care of myself. So I'm there, and there's a few ladies there. And like, "Oh my gosh, what do you do? Do you play for the Cowboys?" And I was like, "No, I'm an accountant." And they were like,
They believed you?
"Yeah, right." And they were like, "So what do you do on the day-to-day?" I was like, "Oh man, I don't know." So I tell them, "Oh, I account." And they're like, "Yeah, right."
you account.
And then the lady next to me, she pulls up a picture of me and be like, "Oh yeah, Mr. Accountant."
Yeah.
So that's been my favorite interaction so far.
And are we getting a pedicure at the same time?
I get manicures more often than pedicures. I probably do pedicures like once a month, but manicures like every other week, every 2 weeks. Because like as an offensive lineman, your fingers get beat up a lot, so you gotta take care of them. You gotta take care of your hands.
Let's go back to this gifting thing. This is a favorite subject of mine because I have always enjoyed when I am gifting people close to me. I contend it's fun and challenging to be creative and find something unique for that person. Now, the longer, if it's your parents and they've been with you all your life, you got to maybe do a little research. But are you that way? Do you try to figure out something unique for everybody?
Yes, I try to. So that's why I do it so much in advance. I like picking out unique things that they might have mentioned like once or twice.
That's right.
That they will really like. That shows that I really pay attention. Now my little brother, he's right there. He's very easy to shop for. He just wants the latest pair of shoes and some clothes, and he's always asking for stuff anyway. So
Okay. Okay.
What's the most unique thing without giving away this year's gifts? Take us through the past. What's the most unique gift that you've given?
the most unique gift that I have given. Oh my gosh. So this this is a little one. I've definitely given a more unique gift, but I just remember this story off the top of my head. So my girlfriend in college, she had her bed was really high. She mentioned something about it, and this was like one of the first times we ever met. Like she mentioned that, and I got her like a little stool, like 2 months later.
Okay.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 months later, just little stuff to show that I listen, stuff like that.
That's
See,
dope.
you're a badass too. Yeah, that's outstanding. I don't think you heard it, Nicole, but Tyler actually just had an interaction with a young fan who came up for his autograph during the break and said, I would like to play in the NFL. What advice do you have for me? And I heard you say to him, take it day by day.
Yes.
When did you learn that?
I learned that from Will Anderson. I think it was my 3rd day on campus at the University of Alabama, and they had the captains come speak to us. So he spoke to us, Bryce Young spoke to us, Jordan Battle spoke to us. I believe Brian Branch spoke to us as well. And they, not Brian Branch, excuse me, Will Riker. And it was crazy. I saw Will last night.
Yep. Yes, you did.
They all spoke to us, and that was Will's part of his speech. He was like, take everything one day at a time. He told me, like, you're going to have 4th quarter coming up. You're going to have spring ball. You're going to have summer workouts. You're going to have fall camp. Then you're going to have the season. It all looks like a lot when you look at the calendar. But when you take everything one day at a time, it all starts to shrink down, and you're able to give more of yourself to each day when you focus on one day at a time.
And that was as a freshman when you first went into Alabama?
Yes.
Did you adopt that and latch onto it right away, or did it take some time for you to say, oh, now I see what they mean?
I latched onto it right away because Will Anderson, he's somebody who was super successful at the University of Alabama. He's super successful now in the NFL. And just whenever somebody like that is giving you advice, you better take it.
For sometimes taking it day by day, that message is not as easier, received for a lot of people. But what's kind of the message in order to help people actually take that day-to-day, I guess, mentality that was so easy for you to kind of take in?
Really just like giving your all to each day. If you're looking too far in advance, you're spending energy worrying about stuff that you can control, but in the future, but you can have immediate control over the next day.
Okay, I've been fascinated since we were introduced to you in April and you make no bones about it, your love for the game is partly manifested by pulling that love out of the guy you're playing against. You want to make him cry.
Yes.
If you can, right?
Yes.
This is not in context with the person that we hear and see, and you, the great linemen, especially both sides of the ball, are like this. How do you account for that dichotomy? How do you account for being such a thoughtful soul who wants to just steal the soul from the guy playing across from him?
You just have to, you got to flip a switch when you're on the field. Like, I'm a completely different person when I'm on the field. You can ask my family right there, my dad and my little brother. Like, they'll be, like, some games they'll have pregame passes, and like I'll see them and I won't even talk to them because I'm already like, I'm in the mode. Like, I'm talking to myself like, all right, you got to dominate today. You got to go, you got to go, you got to go. Like, I'm talking to myself. I'm just like a completely different person when I'm on the field. So I almost like disassociate from who I am, like in my day-to-day life. Like that's business. That's what I love to do. Like, I love to go out on the field and dominate. So I'm a completely different person when I'm out there.
So we had Brock Hoffman here many weeks ago, and I was asking him about the face paint, and he told us the story of how Brock becomes football Brock as he's in the process of applying his war paint, and it's just a fascinating thing to me. So is this process that you just described, is this conscious? Is this like, do you like feel yourself kind of transitioning into that person, and when does that start to happen? When you get in the car, when you get to the stadium?
On the way to the stadium, to be honest with you, just really thinking about how the game is going to go, thinking about some of the plays that we're going to run, thinking about our openers, thinking about the person I'm going to have to go against, but most importantly, thinking about how I'm going to go perform and what I need to do in order to go out and have a great performance. So it really starts that day.
At what age did you start with this whole process?
My process really started in high school.
Okay.
As far as like warming up before the game and the positive self-talk and the visualization. Because
in Connecticut or at IMG?
At IMG.
Okay.
Yes. So at IMG we had a lot of mental training classes, and that's where we went into like your pregame routine, how you mentally prepare for the game. And in those classes, I learned a lot about visualization, like seeing yourself do what you want to do in the game mentally, and also positive self-talk and talking to yourself. And there's studies on both that, so that they're very beneficial before you go out to battle.
So you can tell I'm really interested in this process. When you walk out the hotel room or your door at home and to get in the car or on the bus, you know the process you're about to begin.
Yes.
Is it conscious then? Do you think, okay, it's time to get in the mode, or do you just sit and breathe and it comes to you? How does that happen?
I think on game days I wake up and I'm already there. So something else that I'm very big on is like regulating myself. Like I like to be in the middle for most of the day. Like when it's time to go on the field, that's when I like to raise my levels up. But like during the day, you don't want to be too hyped too early because you're wasting energy. So like I just try to calm myself down by like playing games on my phone, listening to certain kinds of music, just trying to relax myself when it's too early before the game, but when it's go time, I'm ready to go.
Do you find yourself?
No.
Do you find yourself after games having to bring yourself back to reality at times?
Not necessarily. I feel like when the game is over and I'm talking to my teammates, that's when I'm back calm. But something I do like to do when I'm on the way home, I don't really like talking too much after the game. Yeah, so I like just sitting in the car, listening to music on that drive home, talk a little bit here and there, but
So the
I like just
transition's
calming
pretty smooth.
down.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
If you are not happy in the moment with the game that you've played, regardless of the result, I mean, obviously the team's result's the most important thing, but sometimes you didn't play the way you wanted to play.
Yeah.
Are you still able to let it go, or do you go replay it all in your head if there were things you didn't like?
I feel like I replay every game in my head if I played well, if I didn't play well, because something that you learn while playing the game of football is never as good as you think, it's never as bad as you think. So I'm just really anxious to get home and watch the film, and I'm the kind of person like I can't sleep after games. So
you go home that night and watch it.
yes,
Last night you got home at 1 o'clock in the morning
yes,
and watched the game again.
yes.
How did you do on the replay?
Definitely a lot of room for improvement.
Have you always been like a really big film nut?
Yes, I have been, but in that I've learned like how I have to watch film, because there was a point in time where I felt like I watched too much film and I was guessing rather than anticipating and rather than just playing faster. So like it was more paralysis through analysis rather than what film's supposed to be, really just giving you an edge against your opponent.
Well, we're going to follow this up and learn some stuff from Tyler Booker, the Cowboys' outstanding right guard. Our guest this evening on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour. We're at Sidecar Social, easy for me to say, and we're brought to you by
Luke Casey. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys Collection by Luke Casey. Shop the collection today at Luke Casey's 6 DFW locations or online at lukecasey.com. Luke Casey, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
coming right back on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour.
I'll take it.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Welcome back to Sidecar Social. It's the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour. Brad Sham, Nicole Hutchison, our very special guest, Cowboys guard Tyler Booker. On his way, you said you didn't come in thinking about being a Pro Bowler or anything like that, but I mean, you started to think about it now. I don't mean for this year necessarily, but you don't expect yourself not to be in the voted to the Pro Bowl within pretty soon, right?
Oh, of course. I'm a competitor. I feel like I'm always gonna see myself as one of the best football players in the league. Like regardless of what's going on. But that's just how my confidence has to be set up as an athlete. Like that's where I thrive. Like my confidence is just being through the roof. But what I meant by that is like that wasn't my main focus. My main focus is getting better week by week.
And the rest takes care of itself.
Exactly.
The part about dominating, Larry Allen, who may have been the best offensive lineman in the history of the game.
I think so.
I do too, but let alone this franchise. Larry, who was, God rest his soul, who was not much of a conversationalist, but Larry's stated goal was to just break the guy in front of him. He didn't want to just dominate him. He wanted him to quit and go home. And that is such an interesting way to approach something as disciplined as playing in the offensive line.
Yes.
So did you ever play defense?
I did play defensive line growing up. I played defensive line all the way up until my sophomore year of high school when I went to IMG Academy. And it's funny that you bring up that old school style of football. So a funny story about me, I grew up watching the football life, and I've just always been obsessed with the game of football. So I remember the football life about Deacon Jones came out, and he was known for his famous head slap.
He invented it.
So I was out there playing Pee Wee football, head slapping 8-year-olds, and the referees had to tell me to stop. But that's just how much of a student of the game that I've always been.
Do you wish you had played in the era where you could head slap, or they could try to head slap you?
Yes. Yes, I do.
And so what do you imagine that you would do to someone who tried to head slap you?
Well, people do it now. They just don't call the penalty.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they do it a lot. People do it a lot. They call it a club, so they're connecting with their forearm rather than the hand.
Instead of their, okay.
Exactly. But if they're high enough to try and club you and slap you with your hand, that means their chest is exposed. So I just punch them in the chest and block until Dak throws a touchdown.
You probably haven't had a chance to meet Randy White.
Not yet.
Randy was out there last night because they honored the Dirty Dozen from 50 years ago, and Randy was the centerpiece of that, #1 pick, Hall of Famer. And Randy got very much into he still is, into martial arts, and so he could, as a defensive tackle, he wanted to find your hands with his hands and just take them away. Did you ever do anything like that?
So it's funny that you bring that up. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the video of Aaron Donald he was training, and the trainer had the knives.
Wow.
No, not with knives. No,
Okay.
I didn't see the one with the knives.
So they were plastic knives. So that trainer's name is Pootie Carson. I knew him through a friend, and he specializes in Israeli Krav Maga.
Oh,
so
Scott Agolnik from the Cowboys PR department. You know that Scott does Krav Maga?
I didn't know that.
Explain Krav Maga, please.
So the way I'll explain the way it relates to football is just always like having everything be a fluid motion. So something that we talk about is like when the defense lineman gets your hand on, you want to swipe his hand off and almost slide your hand up his arm to his chest, all in one fluid motion, just like no wasted movement, pretty much. And he teaches defensive linemen a lot, but him teaching defensive linemen also knows some of the weak points in their game. So he came to Alabama 2 years in a row to come teach me and some of my teammates some of their stuff.
Krav Maga is an Israeli martial art, and it's serious, right?
Very serious.
Yeah, you don't mess with
Yeah,
somebody
I'm
who
good.
does that stuff. So what put you off being a defensive lineman where you could use your hands?
Nothing put me off. I wasn't put off of being a defensive lineman. I was putting on to be an offensive lineman. So I was being heavily recruited by the University of Georgia to play defensive line, and I'm still close with the defensive line coach Trey Scott. I saw him at the SEC championship, and I spoke to him then. But I remember it was the COVID draft, when everybody was at home and I'm just watching that draft, and I see offensive tackle from so and so, offensive guard from so and so, offensive tackle from so and so, all in the first round. And the only defensive tackle drafted in the first round was Derrick Brown. That's how I remember. Like, man, I'm gonna try this offense thing out and see how that goes.
And you liked it?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
When you were little, I want to go back to your story, and we've talked about it a little bit. You were born in a bassinet, obviously with the football.
Yes.
Went on to high school, and you were pretty much training like a hour and some change away from your family.
Yeah. So my the high school
In Connecticut?
Yeah, in Connecticut.
Yeah, so I lived in Connecticut, but my school was in New Jersey for my freshman year. So I would commute every week to and from school.
Talk about the challenges with that. I know you told me that you had to grow up a little bit faster than expected. So talk about those challenges and how it kind of made you who you are today.
It was definitely challenging, but it taught me a lot about responsibility and accountability because I didn't have the luxury of having my parents be there to wake me up, make sure I was leaving on time for school, or making sure I was doing my assignments, making sure I was eating the right stuff, making sure I was doing my workouts when I was supposed to, making sure I was locked into the playbook. Like, I had to do all that on my own from a young age, and then going from New Jersey to where I was just an hour and a half down the road all the way to Bradenton, Florida, to IMG Academy, to where I'm a 24-hour drive down the road. It was a lot different, but all those experiences have made me who I am today, and I'm just really blessed for the journey that I've been on so far.
How did you come to go to IMG?
I was playing in an All-Star game, the Adidas All-American Bowl, Freshman All-American Bowl, and I was still playing defensive line. The defensive line coach, he was college roommates with the defensive coordinator at IMG Academy.
Oh, wow.
And he told him, was like, hey, you have to check this kid out. He's pretty good. And I went and visited IMG about 2 weeks after that, and that spring I was enrolled.
Who ultimately put you in the sport of football? Like, who was the one who got you started?
My dad, for sure.
Dad? Then obviously, I think I saw also where, somebody had asked your dad, like, are you putting too much pressure on him or something like that? And your dad was like, nah, like, if anything, he's helping me out. So what does it mean to have a dad like that supported you through everything?
Yeah, I wouldn't be where I am today if it weren't for my dad. Just how far, how he's pushed me to this point, everything that he sacrificed for me to be where I am today. And I'm just so thankful that he's here to see me experience all my successes, because I wouldn't be where I am today if I weren't for him.
And Dad's in the stands, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So go ahead and
Dad,
wave,
you
Dad.
all right, Dad? Appreciate you. Dad to Dad, appreciate you. All right, you got recruited by a whole bunch of fancy people.
I did.
Right, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State.
Yes.
Did I see Oregon on the list?
That was
And
Florida.
and I know I'm leaving somebody out.
Florida.
Florida, there
Yes.
you go, yeah. So was it just who paid you the most, or?
That was pre-NIL, so that would all be illegal.
Oh, so, of course. Pardon me. Don't know what I was thinking.
But no, I just wanted to go to where I was going to be pushed the most, and somewhere I could see myself growing the most, and that's why I went to the University of Alabama. Coach Saban really had success broken down to a science, and he really showed me, like, look, if you do X, Y, and Z, you'll be successful here, and you'll be a first-round draft pick. It'll change your family's trajectory. I did X, Y, and Z, and all of that has come to fruition.
You went to a lot of the camps, too, at Alabama.
I
That
did.
played a role in that as well, right? Definitely.
So I went to the Alabama Nick Saban football camps when I was 11, 12, and 13. So just being there from a young age, seeing, and it was so cool, because while we're the campers, they would have like the 7-on-7 summer practices. So you'll be walking in between camp sessions, and you see guys like A.J. McCarron. Years and years later, you see guys like Jalen Hurts. You see Najee Harris. So just seeing all those Alabama legends from such a young age, and being an Alabama football player, that was really a dream come true. Something that's funny about those Alabama football camps is that Alabama, we're known for the fourth quarter program. It's our winter conditioning program, and we do those same fourth quarter drills as young campers as we do college students.
Wow.
So my first fourth quarter, I'm like, man, this is so familiar. This is so familiar. So my dad sent me a video of that Nick Saban football camp, and they're the same exact drills as fourth quarter.
Walk us through the. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
no.
Walk us through the fourth quarter drills. Oh goodness.
You pretty much running. You run until you can't run anymore. You keep running. It's more mental than physical.
Yeah.
Just really proving to yourself you can go so much further than what your body tells you. And it's really all in your mind. So there's middle, so you're doing a bunch of different agility drills and sprints in the middle, and then on the field you got striders. So you have 80-yard striders. So you stride for 80 yards, you have to make it in a certain amount of time, and you have another certain amount of time to make it to the other end to do your next set of striders, and you're pretty much going nonstop. You're going 30 minutes nonstop, and then you get a 5-minute break not 5 minutes. You get a 2-minute break for water, and then if you were doing the striders, you go to the middle, and vice versa. So that was our long distance running day, and then our other day was stations. So there's A station to 4 station, and you just running. You just running. You just going.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
well,
tired
parts
now,
of that
so
one.
we're gonna take a
parts
break
of
while
it.
I lie down for a minute. Nicole catches her breath. Tyler Booker's our guest. We'll be back on our last segment of this week's Miller Lite Cowboy Hour right after this.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
And back at Sidecar Social at the Star District in Frisco, Brad Sham and Nicole Hutchison and our very special guest, Cowboys guard Tyler Booker. I asked Tyler during the break if he had ever run into Quinnen Williams at any of those functions, and you said yes, you had, huh? You met him as a freshman?
I did. So Alabama alum, we love going back, and Quinnen came and spoke to us, and his message was like, you gotta trust the process, because Quinnen didn't end up playing until, which will be his last year, and he we talk about all the time. Like, he only played 13 games in college.
Wow.
But those 13 games were good enough for him to be the third pick of the NFL draft. So really just making the most of your opportunity whenever it comes.
What's it been like having a teammate like Quentin Williams?
Having Quentin as a teammate is awesome. So so that was my first experience with Quentin, and we also have the same agent. And so before me deciding on working with Nicole Lynn, that's our agent, I wanted to call him because I know that she represents him as well. And I spoke to him, and we just bonded over our experience at Bama. And then we talked about Nicole and how she is an agent. She's been great. So just having that relationship and having him here now has been awesome, and something that's very beneficial that he and I do. We'll talk about like my matchup for the week, and he'll tell me like his perspective as a defensive lineman, and he'll tell me things that he'll see from me on the field. Be like, hey, like, you're doing really good at this. Make sure you switch it up with that. So just having him has been very beneficial. It's been a big blessing in the locker room.
I was going to ask you when you were talking about how you watch tape, and you said you have to kind of learn to watch it because you were overwatching, and you have to learn what's important. And I'm wondering how much time you spend on the scheme of the team you're playing, and how much time you spend on the one or two guys you are most likely to be spending most of your time dancing with that day.
So if I were to break it down to percentages, it was probably like 70% scheme, 30% the guys that I'm going against, because you never know. Like, some teams, like, they rotate a lot. Some teams, their guys stay in for a majority of the game. So it really depends on the week, first and foremost. But usually, like, just if I know their scheme, if I know what they're being coached, you start to see a lot of similarities between all the defensive linemen. And when I'm looking at the scheme, you're also watching the guy that you're going against.
Okay, let's take some questions from our audience right here.
Hey, Tyler, Larry from McKinney.
Hey,
I would like to know, what passions do you have that's not football or family related during season, and what difference will there be off season?
so some of my passions that I have, they kind of coincide in off season. I like doing Lego sets. Something that really calms me down, keeps me calm, something that keeps me occupied. And I love a good Lego set. I could sit and do one for hours, and I have before. I like setting timers. So I think I built a rocket ship, and I did not get up. Like, once I start, I had to finish it right then and there.
Like at one sitting?
In one sitting.
Like, what's the longest you've ever spent working on one Lego project?
It was a rocket ship. It was 8 hours.
8?
Yeah, 8 hours. Ooh. Yeah. I don't like getting up. Once I get started, I just got to keep going.
Have you ever done like one of those big cities or anything like that?
Not yet, but I'm looking forward to this off season.
Do you have pictures of them?
I do. I think they might be on my Instagram highlights. I can show you.
Sir.
Yes, I'm Tony from Dallas, and it might be me, but I noticed there seemed to be a lot more runs to the right towards you and Terrence Steele. Is there something special about the chemistry that you two have developed, and can you speak on what it is? And has Terrence Steele helped you since you've been here?
Yeah, Tony. Terrence has helped me so much since my first day here. He's been a helping hand, especially during OTAs when I didn't know all the plays and I didn't know all the checks that Dak will make. I'll just look over to my right side and be like, hey, what that mean? Terrence will help me out, and occasionally when it still does, he'll still help me out. So playing next to a vet, somebody that's been doing it for such a long time at such a high level, has been very beneficial. And like you just hit on it, our chemistry has built so much throughout the season.
And with whom do you communicate more, with Terrence or with Cooper Beebe?
Terrence, because we have to communicate the call from down the line. So I get the call from Cooper, and I'll probably just tell Cooper, like, okay. And I'm telling Terrence, like, hey, we're going to this number. We're going to that number. We just have communication is huge. You have to communicate everything through the line. You never want to assume that something is heard.
I want to kind of piggyback off of his question, talking about the chemistry with this offensive line. It's kind of like when you think of the defensive line and their pass rushing, they have to have a certain type of chemistry to rush as one. What's the chemistry been like for you guys, and how has it kind of grown over the last, 15 weeks of the season?
I feel like our chemistry has grown a lot over this season. You could definitely see it within our double teams. Like, I feel like once we get when teams present fronts for us to get really good double teams, whether it be on zone or gap schemes, that's where we have a lot of success, and that's why you start to see teams run a lot of exotic schemes against us, run a lot of blitzes to get us off of those double teams. So that's just a testament to how well we are doing those double teams, and it's a testament to our chemistry as the offensive line.
Let's go back to when you're not playing football, because you just talked about Legos. But just before we went on the air, you mentioned you're a big Monopoly guy.
I'm a huge Monopoly guy.
When did you start playing Monopoly?
I started playing Monopoly at IMG Academy, and that was something that helped us pass the time because we couldn't leave the campus whenever we wanted. Like there was a curfew, it was a boarding school. So that's how we killed time, and those Monopoly games would go on for hours. Like especially if, like on a weekend, we might be out there playing Monopoly until 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. But like the same game. Like they would get very, very competitive. So that's why I started playing Monopoly. And I try to play with my family, but they never want to because I take it super,
So
super
how do
serious.
you I mean, some of it is the luck of where the dice takes you.
Yes.
So how does one express being competitive playing Monopoly?
It's all about which properties you want to invest in, which properties you want to buy, and negotiating is also a big part of it as well. Like just making trades for properties with people, and then just being creative with your trades, and also your strategy, like how bad you want certain properties. So like, I'll give away some of my strategy. I love getting the railroads. If you get all 4 railroads, I think that's like $250 every time you land on one, and they're all spaced out evenly. So some properties are like all grouped up. So like, oh man, I might want to buy this property. So I get the whole set. I can start putting the hotels down, and then I also know that people are gonna have to come through here a lot. But with the railroad, somebody like, I think it's like 8 spaces away. Like every 8 spaces, you got a good chance of hitting a railroad. Like I have a good chance of getting paid on all those spots.
Is that something that you want to kind of take into consideration, like property, I guess, owning and things like that outside of football? Is that something that like interests you?
It does interest me. Something that I've been thinking about here and there. Just like having more time in the off season. Like, what else do I want to do to keep myself occupied? So, property and real estate is something that I've been looking into.
I could tell because the passion with Monopoly.
I mean, I have this mental picture of you're sitting around with your family, and you're playing Monopoly. You've been playing about 2 hours, and you start getting a little aggressive, and someone says, "Oh hell no, we're not doing any more of this with you."
done.
Does that kind of thing happen?
Yes, it does.
How often?
What do you do to drive someone away from the Monopoly board? You've made them quit at Monopoly too. You want to make your opponents quit at everything you do.
Yeah, probably by just taking their money, like Mason over there. I had Mason crying one time. Mason was crying because I took all his money, and my mom and my sister kept trying to give him money. I was like, no, he's not going to learn how to play. If you give him money, he needs to learn, and he's a lot better now.
Hey, you gotta learn. You gotta learn from your older siblings.
Oh, yeah,
you know.
you're dealing out the punishment. All right, so we got just about a minute left. Day off tomorrow.
Yes.
What will you do with your day off?
With my day off, I like doing stuff in advance, so I'll probably figure out what I'm wearing this Sunday. I like getting that out the way. Probably pack my bag for the hotel this Sunday, tomorrow. Definitely get a jump on watching film, but what I'll do to relax, I'll probably play video games. I love playing college football, rebuilding dynasty, rebuilding schools. So right now I'm at Houston. I'm the head coach at Houston. I just finished up a 10-3 season, looking to bring in some transfers. I missed the playoff by one game. I kind of think I got snubbed, but the way to avoid that is by winning more games.
I think you can tell if you're going to compete with Tyler Booker at anything, you better bring a lunch. You better be prepared to be there for the day. Book, thank you.
Of
Just
course.
so great to have you
This
here.
is a lot of fun.
And
Thank
man,
you.
we just enjoy watching you so much. Everybody have a great week, and Nicole and I will see you just a couple days before Christmas next week right here at Sidecar Social on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour.
Get ready to slay.